For more on this, we joined in studio by the director of the foundation, Eugene Herbert. Eugene, a very good morning to you and welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about the foundation first and foremost. When did it start?
The foundation was established several years back, probably 3-4 years ago, and it has as its main core, as its directors, people who have a vested interest in road safety, notwithstanding the fact that they may pursue other commercial interests. But it is driven toward making a change and interacting with both government and individuals and corporations who are actually a powerful force for good in effecting change in people's mindsets.
Now, there's many NGOs and other road safety authorities that's trying to make a difference in the country. What makes yours different?
Well, from a pragmatic perspective, we've looked at it and we've said that notwithstanding the best intentions, and we've got to give government best intentions, we don't think that they deliberately set out to kill people. But with each successive change in the person whose portfolio road safety falls under, namely the Department of Transport, and the Minister, it is virtually impossible for him to deal with air, road, rail, and of course sea. So what we maintain is that if there was more continued impetus or impact by one individual, at least we would see something that's sustained. And the purpose of which then could be to make road safety a key issue. It costs the country over 300 billion a year. Now that is an investment that we could plough into other areas that would make a difference. And what we've suggested and proposed and tabled is that there should be a collaborative effort. Politics will be politics. But if by harnessing the strengths of the various forces and departments that are involved in road safety, or in issues such as road safety, you've got justice, you've got police, you've got Department of Transport, you've got education, you've got health, all of those. And we had proposed that we set up an individual or a body that would be responsible to all those ministries, plus funded partially by private, because then we will see a difference.
So you call it a political and autonomous road safety authority?
Absolutely.
But what exactly does it mean, though? Will it have any teeth, so to speak?
We believe that if we take and harness, and we know from a commercial perspective that many people, many organizations are willing to put money into making a difference. There's not only financial benefits to be accrued, but the 25,000, depending on who you listen to, people that die have a negative impact on the economy. So now when we look at it from a business perspective, it's not just a statistic we're dealing with. We're dealing with something, and we believe we can motivate to the powers that be that want to be involved. And we've had discussions with them over a period of months, and there is a goodwill or a will to engage. It's just the mechanism of how this should be done. But considering that it is partially funded by private enterprise, it says we're not wanting money from you. Yes, at the end of the day, if you want to give us something of the 300 billion that you save, well, that would be fantastic.
Now, a day doesn't go by when there's a road accident on our roads. What do you think is the main problem, really? Is it just motorists that don't care, or what is the problem?
You're talking about this. I was listening to another radio station, and there's this debate about whether it's an accident or a crash or a collision. We don't refer to them as accidents, because really, if there's anything that you could have done that could have changed the possible outcome, it's no longer an accident. But if there's everything, all things considered, you left on time, you didn't get in behind your wheel when you were upset, you were properly rested, etc., many of those things would mitigate the possibility of what you call an accident. The three components, and there's in fact more that would affect road safety. It's enforcement. You know the problem that we have. There's this issue of corruption. But is it only the policeman that takes the money that's to blame? It's the motorist who gives the money with a view to minimizing the likelihood of him being punished. So let's not blame the police for corruption in isolation. Engineering. Now, in Europe, engineering is fantastic because your road's in good condition. Yeah, we have potholes the size of Mount Vesuvius. So that plays a role. And then, of course, there's education. Now, the one thing that we can change, we can't change the roads, we can't change the vehicles that people drive because they choose that. But what we can do is change the mindset of the driver so that it changes from this right to drive when he gets the license. And remember, a good percentage, up to 50%, I believe, have obtained their licenses fraudulently. So they believe that it is their right to drive on the road, when in actual fact it is a responsibility that you take with you each time you get on that road. That piece of paper shouldn't just be seen as your access to the highway, but it should be seen as something privileged. And we know in our country, because with driving, which is why there's such a high incidence of fraud, comes a job.
Yes.
And therefore it empowers individuals. If we can get everybody to believe and go and subscribe to the same ethos of responsible driving, and it's not speed that kills, it's inappropriate use of speed that kills. It's not just distracted while driving while using a telephone. Have you seen people how they eat? People doing makeup. Texting. And you know, in the States, 25% of deaths are attributed, or crashes are attributed to the use of a mobile phone. And with technology in vehicles getting even better and better, you have a look at it next time you're driving down the road, stop at the traffic light and you see the person next to you. What is the first thing that they do? Now, either they're on Facebook, WhatsApp, or texting, or something. And that's part of the reason why we see people are trying to cram so much. Now, somebody interrupts that. There's a why do you think smash and grabs occur?
Exactly. Because
looks at the person and he's there. You're an easy victim. If we paid attention to the task of driving, it would mean that we would not be distracted. We would see the posted speed limits that are not there to kill your desire to enjoy driving, but it regulates traffic flow and all the good things that go with it. And of course, then if you do obey the rules of the road, and others do, you know, we coined a slogan a while ago, drive nice, it's contagious. I thank you. I just come back from Holland. You let somebody into the traffic and they say thank you.
Yes.
What do? If we see somebody want to get in, particularly if it's a taxi, we close the gap.
Exactly.
Oh, come on. He's doing a job. Let's cut him some slack.
But that brings me to my next point about awareness campaigns. Your organization, your foundation, are you doing awareness campaigns?
We don't do this in isolation. We work with many other organizations. You're aware of there's a website, a tremendous one that's privately funded, arrivallive.co.za. We work with them. There's information that gets disseminated for those who are interested. There's another one on TV that Stay Alert, Stay Alive. We will work with these and any other organization, in fact, Road Traffic Management Corporation. We can criticize them. Does it help throwing stones? There is a will to make a change. And we also work with organizations such as that. And in fact, any operation that's out there that can make a difference, we are happy to engage with them, even to the point of providing them with free guidance, direction, anything that will make a difference to you and I. Because if we have a crash, think about your family, think about the impact on this organization.
Think about the economy.
Oh, absolutely. I want to see you around to make money for us.
That's right. Now, lastly, a political and autonomous foundation, or what do you call it, authority.
Yeah.
Have you been speaking to the powers that be?
Yes, we have. We're in the process. Philip, one of the other directors, has been specifically tasked with doing that. We are a long way, so it would be a bit premature to share those, but we have got private initiative, private funding that has been committed, so that when this happens, we're not then looking for a handout, as it were. We can operate independently and make the change. Who was it that Gandhi said? Become the change that you want to see.
Yes.
And that is, I think, the message that we want people to share with On Road.
Wonderful. Lastly, just a little bit of advice to motorists out there today.
Be nice, because if you are nice and you just exercise some self-restraint, you probably won't upset, annoy, or irritate somebody else who could be on the verge, and give them the benefit of the doubt, because they may not be as bad as what you think, even taxi drivers.
Eugene, thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you.
That was the Director of South African Road and Safety Foundation, Eugene Herbert, talking to us. Herbert, rather.
Correct.
Herbert, not Herbs.